Today, we'd like to share with you a chapter of our quality story here in Dufferin, a walk, a journey that we started to embark on before the pandemic entered our lives. It begins with curiosity and musings and a desire to lean into the invitation and seek and create the conditions for alternative narratives and possibilities for life making, meaning making, and living well with others, human and non-human. We begin our journey with invitations from scholar companions such as Donna Haraway and Peter Moss, an invitation to muddy up the waters, to stir up possibilities, tensions, and challenges, to engage in this idea that there are other ways of understanding and evaluating early childhood itself and its purposes of early childhood education and quality. For this, it stirred such great curiosity. What stories do we desire? What stories do we bring? And what stories are missing? This planted the why of our walk and the acknowledgement to who we walk with. Historically, there's been a dominating view that quality is universal, objective, and measurable. Evaluations meeting targets or benchmarks that are assigned. Recently, there's been a movement to reimagine quality as a subjective, relative, and value-laden concept, instead of solely looking at evaluation of quality through traditional ways. We wondered, how do you define early learning? What stories do we keep and what stories do we let go? What quality is possible when we seek relationships, connections, belonging, and community? What might be possible when walking with equity, diversity, curiosity, justice, and ethics? What might be possible for alternative ways of being and becoming? These reflections launched us into wanting to think deeply about our history and our dominant narratives of quality. We really wanted to think critically and thoroughly about the status quo we have inherited in early learning.
Carving out spaces to explore and consider relations, how they are shaped, lived, and implicated, and how might we unearth what it is that we want to walk towards.
We began by interrogating what pedagogical commitments and desires we wanted to hold close and what narratives we wanted to resist. We revisited our past, visited our present, and held them up to the theory and practice of education. We wondered, what might we notice? What influences and interconnections might we see in continuous learning and growth for both children and early year partners? Our journey consists of a desire to embed pedagogical commitments and companionship, one that has been aligned in our vision, recognizing and acknowledging that this cannot be written alone nor walked alone. We believe that it's important that our future of quality in Dufferin County be co-created, that it be a collaborative process, that there is dialogue, documentation, and that it is critically reflective and an engaging process. It calls for us to gather in companionship, to reflect and invite others to walk with us. Embracing in those moments of not knowing and welcoming gatherings in this spirit of winds of thought. The pandemic has challenged us with its emotions and uncertainty. However, it dares us to seek out connections and possibilities not yet told or considered. One of these true gifts have been slowing down of time and the opportunity to gather with pedagogical leaders that we might not have intersected otherwise. It's offered us a space and a calling to connect with our educators in such a deep way, It's offered us invitation to interconnect with educators beyond our borders. During this time, we've had the pleasure of developing a relationship with Seneca Lab School educators in Dufferin County. What we discovered was we're thinking about the same big ideas. We wondered both what quality would look like if we place such values as collaboration, equity, creativity, reflection, and co-composing, listening, and research. Thinking together about how you measure and assess quality. How do you define quality, or can you? The gift is not knowing the answer, but through our work, the answer will present itself.
Thank you, Lisa, for this beautiful invitation and for including us, Seneca Lab School, to walk alongside Dufferin County. It is with honor to do so. As you know, we've been committed to quality and rethinking what quality could be while pushing boundaries. We've been putting in question our quality measurement tool in Toronto, the AQI, wanting and wishing to hold space for more dialogue and possibility. Quality, as we spoke of, is difficult to measure, and perhaps this quantitative tool didn't sit well with us. Quality is something more than a number captured on a checklist. It is something felt. And so we began our discussions with the quality team in Toronto, trying to bridge together and make threads between our pedagogies, those of how does learning happen, and our understanding of what quality could be, look like, and feel like. We are still in this process, as unfortunately COVID has slowed us down, but we're looking so forward to this opportunity to think deeply with Dufferin as companions along this journey. We think and we hope that this collective work will reach and create ripples and make waves throughout Dufferin and beyond. We've been invited to think with what is possible for quality in early learning and care in Ontario, as you have invited us to do so. As you spoke to this, there is a story beyond one story and 100 more. This collection of many voices is so inspiring to us. And so you invite us to think with ethics, equity, inclusion, care, responsibility. We also see it as an invitation to place heart at the forefront, to allow it to lead us, to embrace relationships, care, reciprocity first, not only among children, but for us as educators and those we work alongside each day. And so I love this provocation to think differently about quality, to consider what do we want to hold close as educators in Ontario, what matters to us and our work in early learning and care, and together, what do we want to let go of? What is holding us back from this call to respond with diversity, justice, equality, and care? And how might these considerations improve quality for all? So thank you, Lisa, so much for inviting us along on this journey. It is with great honor, respect, excitement, we choose to walk alongside you and the educators of Dufferin as pedagogical companions. Thank you.
We have walked so far on this path, however, it cannot be walked alone. We are not just one. We want to move and walk in the companionship of others. Together with great scholars that have inspired our work and walk before us, together with you, the early childhood educators of Dufferin County, we invite you to walk with us. Meet us at the clearing and join our walk.
We invite you to join us, an invitation to restore quality and care in early childhood education. We know we're tired, overwhelmed, undervalued, and disconnected. We're seeking connections in this time of COVID and beyond. So much gets in the way of what is important to us as early childhood educators. It's time to disrupt old scripts. It's time for a new story. It's time to restore, to renew, and revive. We are not just storytellers, but story makers, as Robin Kimmerer reminds us. Our collective voices matter. We as educators matter. Our work matters. We wanted to begin this project and journey with our hearts, heart-led and guided. Pedagogy is situated in the heart to guide us, to be our compass to what is important.
We start with the invitation. What fills your heart right now, today? What fills your heart again and again?
What fills you, sustains you, keeps you going? We want to magnify this. This is at the center of what we do. This is the important happenings of our work, places and spaces of connections, relationships, care, belonging, and life making. Let's magnify the beauty, complexity. Let's together send ripples of the good, the why, and the heart of our work. Let's create spaces for hope and possibility.
We invite you to explore this question with us. With the collaboration of Seneca Lab School, we would love to share your offerings on the Dufferin County website and on social media, so we can share with one another. Beyond the 100 stories of quality, there are 100 more and 100 more. How do you participate? You can choose photographs, poems, your stories, comments, a collage, or any other medium that expresses and gives flight to what's in your heart today. Connect with us on social media. Share with us what fills your heart today. Use these hashtags for your project. We wonder what this collective composition may offer us as an insight into the mattering principles and values we hold close in early childhood education here in Dufferin and beyond. Wonder with us what performative moments it will enact, what habits of mind, orientation, and understanding will it offer us.
Let's all share with each other what filled our hearts today, so these may reverberate, renew, and revive us. From our heart to yours, because it matters.